Have you ever wondered why you wake up tired, even after a full night's sleep? Why the thought of doing simple tasks feels like dragging the weight of the world? Why everyone else seems to be moving forward and you're stuck in the same place, sinking quietly inside? Pause for a moment. These aren't signs of laziness. They're signals of something deeper. They're whispers from a soul that's silently screaming for rest. You're not lazy. You're not weak. And you are definitely not broken. What you are is spiritually exhausted. And here's something no one may have told you yet. Spiritual exhaustion doesn't always come from doing too much. Sometimes it comes from feeling too much, from holding pain that doesn't belong to you, from being the strong one, the reliable one, the one who never asks for help. It comes from smiling when your heart is aching, from showing up every day while your inner world is unraveling, from surviving, not living. This isn't just burnout, it's soul weariness. This video isn't another pep talk or productivity tip. It's a gentle space carved out just for you, for the part of you that wants to disappear, for the version of you that keeps going even when every step hurts, for the tired you, the lost you, the quiet you. You've carried so much for so long, and now, finally, someone sees it. Let this be the moment where you stop blaming yourself. Let this be the beginning of something softer, because you're not lazy, you're just spiritually exhausted. And in the next part of this journey, we'll explore what this really means and how you can begin to heal. Even after admitting that you're not lazy, just spiritually exhausted, a deeper question naturally arises. What does that really mean? What is spiritual exhaustion? Exactly. It's not about being physically drained, not about needing a vacation or a nap. No, this is something deeper, something quieter, something you can't always explain to the people around you. Spiritual exhaustion is what happens when your soul, the deepest part of who you are, simply runs out of energy. It's when the core of you, your essence, has been depleted over time. It doesn't come from working long hours or staying up too late. It comes from emotional and existential fatigue, from the ache of constantly being who others expect you to be. It's the kind of tired that no amount of sleep can fix. You wake up and your body feels rested, but your heart is still heavy. You get through the day, but feel detached from everything that once sparked joy. Even your dreams, once vivid and rich, now feel muted, faded, like memories from a past life. So where does this come from? Often, it begins with small betrayals to ourselves. When you say yes, even though your heart is screaming no. When you keep peace on the outside, but chaos brews within. When you give and give, hoping someone will finally see that you're tired, but no one does. You feel torn between who you are and who you've had to become. You may still smile, still show up, still function. But inside, you're dissolving slowly, silently. 1,000 invisible cuts. Living out of sync with your truth is exhausting. Carrying grief that was never expressed is exhausting. Surviving while your soul longs to truly live is exhausting. Spiritual exhaustion is not weakness. It's not failure. It's a signal, a sacred whisper from within that something needs attention, that your inner world has been neglected too long. And that's where we begin to gently turn inward, because awareness is the first step toward healing. After understanding what spiritual exhaustion truly is, the next question becomes, how do we know if we're experiencing it? Often, the signs aren't loud. They don't scream for attention. They whisper, gently, silently, but persistently. These are not dramatic breakdowns or clear-cut crises. Number spiritual exhaustion. often hides in the quiet corners of your daily life. It disguises itself in the mundane, the ordinary, until one day you realize something isn't right. Let's walk through 5 of these silent signs, one by one. 1. You feel guilty for resting. Every time you slow down, whether it's taking a nap, canceling plans, or just sitting in stillness, there's a voice inside that whispers, "You're wasting time." You can't enjoy rest because you don't believe you've earned it. Deep down, you've tied your worth to productivity. So when you're not doing, you feel like you're failing. 2. You scroll endlessly, but nothing satisfies you. You pick up your phone, hoping for a spark, a meme, a message, a moment of escape, but nothing lands. You keep scrolling, chasing a sense of connection or relief that never quite comes. It's not about laziness. It's about numbness. Your soul is hungry, but the content doesn't nourish. 3. You feel disconnected from things you once loved. Activities that used to bring you joy, painting, writing, cooking, walking, now feel dull. It's not because you've outgrown them, it's because your inner light has dimmed. When your spirit is depleted, even beauty loses its color. The things you love haven't changed, your access to joy has been interrupted. 4. You avoid silence because it's too loud inside. You turn on background noise, music, television, podcasts, not because you want to listen, but because you're afraid of the quiet. Because in the silence, your thoughts get louder, your fears echo, your sadness becomes visible. Silence becomes a mirror, and you don't want to look. 5. You keep asking, "What's wrong with me?" even though nothing is wrong. From the outside, everything seems fine. You're functioning. You're checking boxes. But inside, there's a low hum of emptiness. A question that repeats itself. Why do I feel this way? The answer isn't always clear. But the ache is real. And it's not a flaw. It's a signal. These signs are not evidence that you're lazy or unmotivated. They are messages quiet but urgent from your soul. They are gentle cries for healing. A call to pause, to listen, to soften. Your soul is whispering, "Please, slow down." And now that we've heard these whispers, let's take a look at where they come from. Because exhaustion rarely starts overnight. In the next part, we'll explore the roots, the early seeds of this weariness planted long before we even notice them growing. We've just explored the silent signs that something within us is deeply tired. But where does that tiredness begin? Where does this spiritual exhaustion take root? To truly understand, we must go back to the beginning. This kind of weariness doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's planted early, often in the quiet moments of childhood, in the invisible lessons we were taught long before we could question them. Many of us were raised to believe that our worth is tied to how much we do, how well we perform, how productive we are. We were celebrated when we got good grades, when we were helpful, when we made things easier for others. That's when we were called good. That's when we felt loved. But love that is earned through usefulness is not love. It's pressure in disguise. So, we learn to ignore our needs. We push down our emotions. We became masters at pretending we were okay, even when we weren't. We learned to keep going, to stay strong, to never ask for too much, to never be a burden. And over time, that childhood mindset hardened into adulthood, into a lifestyle, into burnout that looked like ambition, into people-pleasing that looked like kindness, into exhaustion that looked like success. Then comes the culture we live in, the hustle narrative. A culture that screams, push harder, grind every day. Rest is for the weak. It rewards constant movement, constant striving, constant proving. But your soul doesn't speak hustle. It doesn't speak urgency, or pressure, or competition. Your soul speaks stillness. It speaks presence, peace, meaning. And when we live too far away from that stillness, when we abandon the language of our soul, something inside begins to collapse. This collapse isn't loud. It's not always dramatic. It shows up in slow disconnection, in apathy, in fatigue that doesn't go away. And so now, we begin to see it clearly. The roots of our exhaustion are not weakness, they're wounds. Not failures, but old frameworks that no longer serve us. Now that we've uncovered the roots of spiritual exhaustion from childhood messages to cultural expectations, the question arises, how do we begin to heal? The answer isn't dramatic. It's not a grand transformation overnight. It begins with small, quiet acts, simple steps that gently return you to yourself. Here are 10 gentle, soul-soothing practices to help you restore your spirit. 1. Start your day with silence, not your phone. Before the world has a chance to speak to you, listen to your own breath. Give yourself the first few minutes of the day. Let silence greet you before screens do. 2. Write a few lines in a journal, not to achieve, but to release. No need to be profound. No need to impress. Just let your inner world spill onto the page. Journaling is not a task, it's an exhale. 3. Sit with your feelings, even the messy ones. Don't rush to fix, change, or avoid them. Just sit. Listen. Your emotions don't need to be corrected, they just want to be heard. 4. Walk in nature without goals. No step counts. No playlists. No hurry. Just walk. Let your senses reconnect with the earth, the breeze, the scent of trees, the rhythm of your footsteps. 5. Talk to someone who doesn't try to fix you, just listens. Sometimes, healing begins in a conversation where no solutions are offered, only presence. Find that person. Be that person for someone else. 6. Light a candle and breathe with it for 5 minutes. Watch the flame. Let its gentle flicker remind you that peace doesn't shout, it glows. Breathe slowly. Let the moment hold you. 7. Say no without guilt. Protect your energy. You don't owe anyone an explanation for preserving your peace. Boundaries are a form of self-respect. 8. Say yes to things that spark even a little joy. Even if it's small, even if it seems silly, if it lifts your spirit, say yes. Joy doesn't need to be big to be real. 9. Cry if you need to. Tears are truth leaving the body. Crying is not weakness, it's release. It's your body saying, I can't hold this anymore. Let the tears come. Let the truth flow. 10. End your day with gratitude, not judgment. Instead of reviewing what went wrong, notice what went right. Even if it's just that you made it through, gratitude softens the edges of exhaustion. These aren't rules. They're invitations. You don't have to do all 10 every day. Even 1 is enough to begin shifting the tide. These steps are not about fixing yourself. They're about returning home to your spirit, your center, your peace. Let me tell you about someone who once stood exactly where you are now. This person used to wake up every morning with a sense of dread, not because something specific was wrong, but because everything just felt heavy. They were always tired, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. They'd walk through their day like a ghost, doing the motions, saying the right things, smiling when expected, all while something inside them quietly unraveled. Friends called them lazy. Family said they lacked motivation. And after hearing it enough times, they started to believe it. They began to internalize that voice, the one that said, "You should be doing more. What's wrong with you? Why can't you just be normal?" But one day, not a dramatic day, not a movie scene, just an ordinary, quiet day, they stopped. They stopped running. They stopped pretending. They stopped pushing themselves to just get over it. Instead, they started listening. Listening to the ache beneath the surface. Listening to the whisper of exhaustion that had been calling for years. Listening to the small, almost imperceptible longing to come home to themselves. That person didn't magically get better overnight. They didn't find a perfect morning routine or fix every problem in their life. But they did something even more important. They got honest. They stopped pretending to be okay when they weren't. They stopped chasing the version of themselves they thought they should be. And they began the slow, beautiful process of healing. Today, they are not fixed. They are not perfect. But they are honest. They are present. They are aligned with something deeper. And maybe, just maybe, that person is you. Maybe not today, maybe not even tomorrow, but someday soon, you will wake up and realize that the journey back to yourself has already begun. After hearing a story that mirrors so many of our own, one truth gently rises to the surface, the truth that no matter how far we've strayed, how long we've been lost, or how deeply we've been tired, we are always allowed to begin again. There is no shame in being tired, no shame in needing to pause, no shame in stepping away, no shame in doing absolutely nothing for a while. Because rest is not the opposite of progress, it is the foundation of it. We live in a world that glorifies hustle, that equates motion with meaning, but your soul knows better. You are not here to function like a machine, to produce, perform, and persist without pause. You are here to feel, to connect, to be moved by beauty, to breathe deeply and exhale slowly, to rest in the truth of who you are, not who you think you're supposed to be. And when it all becomes too much, when the weight is too heavy, the noise too loud, the ache too deep, you are allowed to stop. You are allowed to soften. You are allowed to begin again. Not just once, not just twice, but as many times as it takes. Beginning again is not a failure. It is a sacred act of courage. It is you choosing to believe in your own healing. It is you choosing to rise gently, even if you've fallen 100 times. It is you saying, "I'm not done yet. My story is still unfolding." Every sunrise is proof that life begins again. And so do you. You don't need to earn your rest. You don't need to explain your pain. You don't need to have it all together before you're allowed to feel peace. You are already enough, right here, right now. If these words found you today, please know it's not by accident. The universe has a way of placing the right message in front of the right heart at just the right time. Maybe you came here feeling overwhelmed, empty, lost. But if even one sentence in this video made you pause, breathe, or feel seen, then something inside you has already begun to shift. Your healing starts not with doing more, but with being more gentle, with choosing to believe this simple truth. You're not lazy. You're just spiritually exhausted. And you deserve to come home to yourself. So take this as your permission slip to rest, to reset, to begin again. You're not alone on this journey, and you never have to be. At Mindful Way Television ***, we walk this path together with presence, honesty, and heart. If this video resonated with you, consider subscribing. Share it with someone who needs to hear this today. And please, leave a comment. Your voice matters, and it helps us grow this mindful community. And if you're ready to keep healing, your next step is just one click away. We've created another video just for you, one that dives deeper into the heart of what you're feeling. You'll find the link right here on the screen. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. You're doing better than you think. Let's keep walking the mindful way.